popping in to introduce you to our new hire. This is Grant. He's taking over Patty's role as head accountant.
Nice meeting you. Hey guys.
Over here we have Beth. She's our head of HR, but don't worry, she's cool.
She's cool? What the heck?
This is Devin.
What is this crap, bro? This is not Studio C.
I want to be rich. Wishing for more money? All you need is your phone. No.
Stage me back.
Let me show you a place where everything's wonderful.
We never lose a girlfriend.
Where you gotta be hard if you wanna fight crime.
My abs.
Sometimes life gets dangerous.
Oh, you don't even know.
But we're not scared, and I'll tell you why.
Here we go.
Jarvis.
Drop the beat. It's all time. This is all time.
There's no world like the Avengers, where everything's alright. You know the bad guy the moment you see him, always a man and always right.
Alright, so as you read the title, we're talking about Studio C today. I'm gonna be reading a script this whole time. I know I wrote a script, and so if I'm not looking at the camera, it's my bad, I guess, but I'm gonna be looking at the script here. So if you're from Utah or Mormon, or you grew up a Mormon, you probably know the Studio C. Like I would bet $1,000 you know Studio C, and I bet that you loved Studio C at one point, because I don't think there's anyone in the state of Utah who wasn't a fan of Studio C at some point, because that show was peak. Okay, it's generational. So even if you're not from Utah, or you're not a Mormon, you've never heard of Studio C, stick around, because I'm about to put you onto some elite family-friendly comedy. Okay. But man, back in the day in Utah, you couldn't go anywhere without like talking to someone about Studio C, or watching a Studio C video with someone. Like I was only a kid, but like I would go to class, and my teacher, I had this teacher who would play Studio C every day, and we just wouldn't do any work in that classes. It was pretty sweet actually. But one day the principal came in and she turned off the Studio C really quickly, and he went and talked to her. He was like, you can't be watching Studio C with your students or whatever. And then he left. She's like, okay, I'll get to teaching or whatever. And he leaves the room, and right after he leaves, he turns Studio C back on, bro. Pretty peak. I hated that teacher, but it's good. It was there were some good times in that class, but yeah, so Studio C is if you don't know, it's a BYU TV run show. BYU TV is it's the BYU students, and it's pretty big in Utah, I guess. And so yeah, Studio C started back in 2012. It was created by Matt Meese, one of the main actors, probably the main actor. I don't know, there's maybe Jason, or yeah, I don't know. But then there's also Jared Shores helped create it, but he hasn't really acted in it or anything. But yeah, and in the first couple years of the show, they had actually quite a lot of success, and they grew a very large fan base of like over 500,000 people. So like like a quarter of Utah or something. But I remember being a kid, just like 5 years old, and man, I would come home after playing soccer like on a Monday, and I'd have my juice in hand, and we surfing on some juice after we lost or won in some rec soccer, and me and my family would get together on the TV, and we'd watch the new Studio C episodes, the new sketches, and man, I miss those times where they're peak. But yeah, I just remember like originally when I first discovered Studio C. I was just like watching TV. We didn't have cable or anything, so just on the antenna and scrolling through the channels, and then came to BYU TV's channel. I don't remember which one it was, but don't mind my brother over there. He's sick. He's coughing a lot. I know, but yeah, I remember I just was scrolling through, and then I stumbled upon it. I was like 6 or something, 5 or 6. I was like, I didn't even know what it was. It just like did not make sense to me. It was just random people like just making jokes that I couldn't understand as a kid. But I remember seeing that, and my family was seeing that, and we didn't really care first, but slowly over time we saw more and more of those episodes, and we got hooked. We started watching like every Monday at 8 o'clock, I think, is when they dropped. They dropped like, I don't remember, like 5 sketches a night or something. I don't know, but it was pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, let's get into it. If you haven't watched the show, I'd highly recommend. All the episodes are on, all the sketches are on YouTube, which are from the episodes, and yeah, there's some really good ones. Like, there's a lot, actually. I list a lot in this script. So yeah, go and watch them if you haven't, or rewatch them. You know, I just rewatched a bunch of them writing up the script, and good memories, man, good memories. All right, let's get into it. So season 1 is full of nostalgic bangers, is what I wrote right here. But there's also some trash. Let's be real. These seasons are extremely long. They're all about 100 sketches, which I guess makes sense because they did like multiple sketches per episode. But now you can't really watch them in episodes unless you go on BYU TV, I guess, which no one has BYU TV. Let's be real. Yeah. So I'm gonna list a bunch of I'm gonna list my favorite episodes from each season as we go, and I'll just maybe like talk about them, give comments, and then maybe talk about the show a little bit and like how it rose and fell in the landscape of media. So season 1, my favorites, we got channel surfing, foreign exchange, mafia, P90X. It's a good one, the exercise one. Voldemort goes on a blind date. Man, that's a classic. State of Mind, Bane's birthday party, the awkward avoidance Viking episodes. You have to watch all those, even though they're kind of trash, I'm not gonna lie. But Econ 101, I remember that. And Bad Extra, which actually has my favorite character, Studio C character ever, Russell. He's only in like 2 episodes, I think. He's played by Jason. But for some reason, as a kid, I really liked the character, so he's always been my favorite character of them. There's Studio C, they do this thing where they'll announce a character, and if the fans like it, you know, if it gets like a lot of publicity, like a lot of views or something on YouTube, then they would just milk that character, like milk it, especially Lobster Bisque, okay? Still need to watch Lobster Bisque. Not the best, though, I'm gonna have to say. But that's later, though. It's later. So honestly, season 1 is one of the strongest seasons, actually, I think. It was kind of a slow start, maybe, but I don't think so. You know, there was some bangers in there, and it really got the show going, and without season 1, we wouldn't have anything else, so we love season 1. There's a tongue twister episode or 2, I think, and I hate the tongue twister episodes. Those are awful. I don't think they're funny at all. It's not my humor at all. It's just the cast members trying to say a bunch of words that are hard for them to say, and yeah, you can skip those episodes, I'll say. Yeah. So yeah, season 1 really did light a fire, is what I said here, in the Utah culture, and it wouldn't be put out for almost 10 years. That's how long the show kept a good stride, I thought, and it was going places. It really was BYU TV's magnum opus, and it probably will be forever, I think. I can't name a single other show on BYU TV that's good. They're all corny and trash, I'm not gonna lie. All-round champion, corny, entertaining though. I'd give that a watch if you want. It's about these kids, they're like young prodigies in their like respective sports, and they try each other's sports. I don't know. It's a goofy show, but it's kind of entertaining. Especially when the kids like freak out and they're like, I can't do this. Ah! Okay, highly recommend. So yeah, that's season 1 for you. Season 2. So this was another pretty good season, and it had some heavy hitters in here. And there's going to be a lot, I think. Is what I wrote. This show really does have a special little place in my Mormon heart. But that's what I wrote. How many times do I say that's what I wrote? Okay. So here's the list of my must-watches from season 2. Poker Face. That's an all-time top episode. You gotta watch that one. Inner City Spelling Bee. The Center for People that YouTube made famous. Facebook Friends song. Dang, this I wrote right here. Wow, these seasons are freakishly long. 100 episodes is crazy. So, Study on Male Aggressiveness Gone Wrong. Lobster Bisque is an essential. I said already, Lobster Bisque, you have to watch it. It's not the best. It's kind of annoying. You have to watch it. It's like, I don't know, what's a good comparison? That's not a good comparison, but season 2, episode 7 of Stranger Things, awful episode. You have to watch it. That's what I think, at least. So, back to the list. Grocery Bag Challenge, Captain Literally, you have to watch all those. Again, same thing as Lobster Bisque. Let's see. Little Man Syndrome, Rock, Paper, Scissors, that's like a little short one. Cheese It Meltdown Man, Baseball Dad hits ref and then a home run. That's a classic. And also you gotta watch all the Just Jeremys. Those are good too. These are like the characters that they, like I said, they like to milk. They have a couple every season that they love to like come back to. Just Jeremy was a season 1 only thing, I'm pretty sure. And it was alright. I don't know. Like, I remember watching them and being like, I didn't really care, but like they're classics, so you still gotta watch them. So yeah, there's a lot of filler in that season, but still, I'd highly recommend. I think it's pretty good. All these seasons I'm talking about are all pretty good, honestly. So I'd go check them out if you haven't watched them. Yeah, so these first 2 seasons really got the show going. You got some momentum going into season 3, which might be my favorite season. We're about to get into it right now. Okay, so season 3 was special. Just like season 3 of Stranger Things, this might be the best season. Okay, that's maybe a hot take. Season 3 of Stranger Things, peak of all the characters, okay? And the story. The best vibes, too. So I would just suggest watching all 73 sketches in this season, because I think they're all pretty good. When I was looking through, I didn't find any like ones that I remember being bad, so yeah, you should definitely watch them all if you can. If not, here are my must watches. Okay, we got Diving Finals. All of the worst episodes. They're called like Worst Teacher, Worst Lawyer. You have to watch all those. Those are actually pretty funny, a lot of them. Let's see. Photobombing 101. Dungeons and Dragons. Huzzah, magic powers. If you know, you know. Snape on the Bachelorette. Oh, that's ball knowledge if you know that one. That one is good, bro. Okay. Studio C Grinch. Kind of a good one, you gotta watch that. Harry Potter accidentally kisses McGonagall. Not the best, but it starts the Harry Potter episodes, and there's a lot of good Harry Potter episodes, so yeah. Let's see. Yeah, those are my must-watches. Yeah, season 3 is when the show really became like a routine part of my life, like I said, I'd come home from watching soccer, and we just watch like this. Season 3 is probably like when that all started, I think. I remember watching a lot of those episodes like coming out and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty fire season, if I do say so. Yeah. I wrote, this was mine and many other Mormon kids' childhood TV show, and I think I can say that for a lot of people that grew up in Utah or as Mormons, Even if you don't agree with Mormon ideology, like, this is a good show, okay? Okay, just watch it. Okay. Let's see. On to season 4. Now this was a pretty good season too. Really no misses. So, like, so far none of these seasons have been bad. in season 4, there were some big hits. So I'm talking about The Truth About Running. If you know, you know. Game of Horse. That was like their first collab video, I think. Most realistic video game of all time. Come on, man. Movie trailer that spoils everything. See, this is like when they start to experiment with like stuff offset, I think. Was season 4. So they got like Crazy Mall Kiosk Salesman, another classic, which they also did a couple times. But the first one's the best by far, of course. And of course, the new Ronald McDonald. That's a good one, okay? If you like movies and stuff, like pop culture, Studio C is gonna cater to you, you know? The new Ronald McDonald, Heath Ledger. You wanna know... Why am I going into Trump's voice? I'm trying to be the Joker, okay. Do you wanna know how I got these scars? My father... Okay, I'm done. So, yeah. Good episodes. I'd highly recommend watching those. Yeah. Let's see what else I said. Honestly, the show was on a generational run. At this point, the whole state was waiting to watch the new sketches. That's real. That's what I wrote. In season 5, we get the episode. The episode, okay? It may not be my favorite episode, but it's the episode, okay? So this is where the show really became viral, and it started to reach a more widespread audience past Utah, past the Mormons, past these regular people in Utah. I don't know. It got out. It just got to more people, you know, and it was pretty peak, bro. And it was all because of one man in one sketch. Matt Meese as Scott Sterling in the Scott Sterling episode. Scott Sterling is and always will be the magnum opus of the show. Okay, there's no debating it. It's if you've never watched Studio C or you've never heard of them, or like you don't know anything about this, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure you've probably seen this episode because it almost has 100 million views on YouTube. There's like clips of it on Instagram I've seen. I don't know, maybe it's just my feed because I grew up watching the show. I don't know, but still, I bet you might have seen this. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's not my favorite, but it's good. So yeah, it's a certified classic. It still holds up today. It's a little corny. I rewatched it recently. Kind of corny, but it's still good, okay? So, you know, give it a try if you haven't watched it. So yeah. And these next couple of seasons are really the prime Studio C. Like, this was the golden age, the heyday of Studio C. Everything was going right here. So yeah, we got some other bangers. We got let's see what we got. We got the Hunger Games musical episodes, dude. If you haven't watched those and you're a Hunger Games fan, what are we doing? You gotta watch those, okay? Hot Tub Scare, that's a classic. Diabetes Intervention, The Smiths, Breaking Bad for kids, bro. Oh my, Breaking Bad for kids. That was my Breaking Bad as a kid. Okay. The Couchville Saga. They're like spread out through a couple seasons, but you gotta watch the Couchville videos. The first one's good. New CW series, The Valley. Bro, that's funny, I think. Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven Christmas Edition. They have like seasonal episodes. The Christmas episodes, this one's pretty good. Another Christmas one, even It's a Wonderful Life Without Studio C. That's a good one. So yeah, those are ones I would go back to rewatch, or if you haven't watched them, I go watch them, you know, because those are the best ones. So yeah, those are some pretty fire ones. Okay, so that was season 5, and we're about midway through what I would say is the canon timeline of Studio C. So season 6. So this continued to be great. Really, yeah, no misses again. We got Volleyball Scott Sterling. The Cran Song Gets Ruined. The Restaurant of Life. New GoPro setting. Come on, I remember when that episode came out. You do too, probably. Two Guys on a Scooter. Arguably the second most popular episode behind Scott Sterling all time. I mean, I remember when that episode came out, like, I couldn't get away from it, bro. I'd go to classes, and my teachers would be like, if they're ever like, oh, we have like 5 minutes after class, what should we do? They'd be like, oh, pull up Studio C, and they'd play that video. Like, that was the one they'd go to, and it was like, really? I mean, it was good the first time. You have to watch it, but dang, they milked that. Like, I watched that a lot in school, bro. Okay. Let's see, Sherlock Meets His Match, The Ultimate Football Fail, Bad Karma, kind of annoying, but you gotta watch it. Batman vs. Superman on Citizens Court. Oh yeah, another annoying one. The Walking Dead Survival Guide. Studio C Season 50, which ironically is about like Studio C being dragged out too long. I'm like, that's kind of what I'm talking about, you know? Like, the show kind of has gotten dragged on too long. We'll get to that. So I'd watch that sketch after this video if you want to like kind of see what I'm talking about here, I guess. Narrator Hater, The Smiths 2. Did I already talk about The Smiths? I don't remember. The Smiths is good. The Most Annoying Jedi. Oh, and the Piano Guys one. If you don't know who the Piano Guys are, so Studio C did a lot of collaborations with like YouTubers and like other people from Utah that were big, I guess. So Piano Guys is probably one of the earlier ones, and it's pretty good actually. I'd watch that one. So yeah, that's a lot. This whole video is gonna be me just rambling on about episodes, telling you to watch. So if you don't want to see that, I guess don't watch. But yeah. Anywho, great season, and yeah, the show is looking good at this point in its life. So yeah, let's take a break. Let's take a break here, and let's just talk about the other incredible things about this show. Like, man, do you remember the old intro? The old intro where they're in the they're at the carnival or whatever at night, and it's like neon lights, and they're using a 360 camera. Bro, they used to make me feel sick as a kid, but like watching it, but actually so nostalgic. I rewatched it making this video, and I was like, man, bro, that was peak life. Okay. Getting emotional about Studio C. So yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, I remember my uncle got to go watch the show in person, which was like actually hard to do back in the day because everyone wanted those tickets, bro. So I never got to go, unfortunately. But my uncle did bring me back a t-shirt, which I used to have. I don't have anymore, unfortunately. It wouldn't fit me anyways, but it's pretty cool to have a Studio C t-shirt, you know, back when everyone was like into it, you know. So yeah, yeah, the show was really like something 10 years ago. Like, yeah, this is like Utah cool. This is like baggy jeans and swig and like, you know, like soda drinks in Utah right now. Like Studio C was up there, you know. It was part of the culture. Not anymore. Yeah, let's keep going here. Season 7. So yeah, we're getting there, but the seasons don't get any shorter. In fact, they get longer. Season 7 had 130 sketches. Can you believe that? 130 sketches. Wow. So by this point, the show was beyond Utah and was huge on YouTube. It was taking over. They made a collaboration with Prime Mark Rober. They made a sketch. Dude, Mark Rober used to be great too. See, again, another guy from Utah that got big, you know. It's like, that was their collaborations, and man, I miss the OG Mark Rober, bro. He used to be so good, but he kind of fell off when he like met Mr. Beast, I think. So yeah, back to the video though. Back to the main topic. So there's more great episodes here. So the Great British Bake Off, The Last Player Picked, Jeremy Isn't Real. If you don't, there's 10 characters, 10 main cast members, and Jeremy's one of them. So that's like, you gotta, yeah. I'm not gonna get into like the cast members really too much here. But yeah, the OG cast was goated. Let's see. Where was I? What's Inside a Bank Vault with What's Inside, bro? Do you know What's Inside? Another Utah YouTube channel who used to be so good, but they absolutely fell off. But that was a good sketch, I remember. Let's see. Harry Potter and the Mirror of Desire. Watch This, another collab. The Property Brothers Haunted Renovation. I remember these sketches coming out like it was yesterday, bro. Like, they actually feel like they're new still, but it was 10 years ago. It's crazy. What other episodes? The Vlogfather, Blood Donor Saves Little Girl, 7 Deadly Sins, This Is My Theme Song, A Stairway Chase. Dude, A Stairway Chase. That is a sleeper pick. And the Martian vlogs from like, they're like based on The Martian, like the movie. Pretty sweet. Yeah. So this isn't quite to the fall off, but we're getting there, unfortunately. I'm sure at this point in the show, season 7, I bet some of the cast were kind of getting tired of it, and they're like ready to quit, but they went onward. So here we go. Season 8. So it introduced actually a couple new cast members in this one. I remember the redhead guy, which I liked because red hair, you know. Even though I hate, whatever. We're not getting into that. And then there was 2 other people, Dalton, and I don't remember the other, Tori or something. Tori, I don't remember. But yeah, they were actually not that bad for new cast members. Like being with all the original 10, they were fine. So, yeah, and. Let's see. So I had some good episodes still, actually. The show wasn't completely falling apart yet. It was showing cracks, but it wasn't like horrible. So it was the beginning of the end. It was the beginning of the end. So here's my must watches. Oh Snape, seasonal Stranger Things, bro. You don't understand. I never could watch Stranger Things as a kid because I didn't have Netflix. So I've recently watched it and it was pretty good. But this was all my knowledge for Stranger Things, was that one sketch. So yeah, I always wanted to watch Stranger Things, but I never could because of this sketch. But yeah, let's see, where was I? Leave a Message. The 5 Stages of Netflix, Monster Under the Bed, Daniel Harrison, the Man Behind the Mustache. Another one about Jeremy being not real. I'd watch that. And A Typical Pilot Job Interview, which was the redhead guys, like first. I remember watching that. I think it was like the first episode they had. It was in the premiere, I think. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, they were pretty good episodes. The Jeremy one was probably the best, I think. Yeah, so this was the end of the show's prime, I think, as we entered season 9, the final season. I know it's not the actual last season, but this is where it ends for me, okay? This is the canon ending for Studio C, okay? Everything after doesn't exist, just like how everything after Endgame in Marvel doesn't exist, except for Loki. We'll let Loki slide. But yeah, so this was in 2018 to 2019. Yeah, it's a while ago now, actually. But yeah, we knew going in it was the final season for the original cast. So everyone was like getting sad about it. I remember everyone was talking about it. They're like, oh no, the original cast. What Studio C? What's it gonna be now? Oh no. But yeah, we were all kind of scared. Let's be real. But yeah, it was a beloved show, and they were gonna cut it. They were gonna cut it off for us. It seemed like, so it was bad. But yeah, it was an okay season. Probably the worst in my opinion. But it's not as bad as these new ones, bro. I'm not gonna. These new ones are horrible. They're horrible. So yeah, here's my must watches. There aren't very many for this season. Let's see, we got The Return of It, Unexpected Harry Potter Transformation, and Reverse Catfishing. Those are my 3. Those are the 3 I chose. Yeah, they're not like horrible episodes. They're just not any like classics or like episodes that are like gonna make you laugh your socks off, which I don't know if any of these will. Yeah, there's still some really funny ones in the show, but they don't hit as hard as they used to, you know. But yeah, I actually remember waiting for this to come out, the final season. Everyone was stoked, but they were also scared, you know. But they did like a premiere thing where they were like in New York with Kenan Thompson from SNL, and it was like this big thing. But the sketches just weren't that good. I don't know. It was kind of a letdown. It was okay though, you know, it was fine. But it was really heartbreaking to see the show come to an end, really. it got to me, man. It was sad. But yeah, the show itself did go on, but the cast was gone. Matt, Steven, Natalie, Mallory, Jeremy, James, Jason. Who am I forgetting, bro? Whitney, Stacy, and who's the last one, bro? Stacy and I say Matt, yeah. James? Did I say James? Adam? Adam. That's who it was. Yeah, they all left. It's quite sad. You know, everyone had their favorite cast member, I think. My favorite was either Jeremy or Jason. Jason actually came back recently to the show. It's not the same, though. It's not the same. But, yeah, Jeremy and Jason were pretty good. Stacy was good, too. They were all good. Matt was good, man. Yeah, but, yeah, the show ended. They're actually on to season 22, I believe, now. No one's been watching, let's be real. BYU TV is dead, I think, for most people. Yeah, like on their YouTube channel, I've seen the videos. There's like no views, man. No one's watching it. They have subscribers still, but no one's watching. Let's be real. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Man, I miss Studio C, bro. It was a cultural phenomenon. Like, it actually was. But that's for the original cast. Now they started their new comedy production like company thing, JK Studios. I remember it was like came out. They did it like right after they left. Like it was like nothing changed really, but it did change, I guess. But yeah, they've actually had some success. They've made 2 feature films now. Trying to make a new show, comedy show thing. I haven't really watched anything. One thing I did watch from them was the first thing they made, which was Freelancers. It was like this short series on YouTube that you couldn't watch. Season 2 I don't think was on YouTube, but season 1 was. It was actually good. Like it was solid. If you watch these episodes and you like Studio C, I'd recommend watching Freelancers too. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, they're actually been pretty successful. Some of them have actually come back to the show, like I said. But yeah, it just feels empty, you know. It's like a hollow shell of its former self, you know. But yeah, I mean, I think I can speak for all of us that we all loved Studio C and we miss it, man. It was great. As Jeremy said, heart, he and art. I am the he, and this is the art. Except the cast is the he, and the show was the art.